time in the history of the Philippines wherein a cabinet position that is not vacant and already occupied was assigned to yet another person. This resulted in 2 appointees for only 1 position. In this situation, I was appointed by former President Rodrigo Duterte as chairperson of the Mindanao Development Authority on January 13, 2022. I took my oath of office before Judge Janice Celestial on January 17, 2022. However, on May 13, 2024, Secretary Leo Magno, who is already holding the position of Presidential Assistant for Eastern Mindanao, was appointed by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to the same position that I currently hold. He eventually took his oath of office before Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin on May 21, 2024. Honestly, I had the biggest shock of my life. It felt literally like my heart stopped beating for a few moments. May ganun pala talaga. I have had sleepless nights and an upset stomach due to the overwhelming stress. I cannot bear the embarrassment and humiliation. I could not fathom why there is another appointment for the same post that I am currently holding. I ask myself, what did I do wrong? What did I do to deserve such disrespect? I do not recall having done anything wrong in the conduct of my duties. Prior to Leo Magno's appointment, I have not received any formal communication from Malacanang. I have no quarrel with the stand of the other camp that the President has the authority to appoint because that is correct. There is no question on the matter. But regarding term of office and removal, we go back to the point that there is such a thing as Republic Act 9996 or the Mindanao Development Authority Act of 2010, Section 7, which explicitly states that the chairperson shall serve a term of 6 years from the date of his or her appointment unless removed for cause. I do not have any pending civil, administrative, or criminal case before the proper courts. I am also not convicted of any crime. Simply said, there is no prerequisite cause. I have not received even a single memo from Malacanang about any misconduct. The post is also not a position of trust in the sense that I do not keep confidential information to warrant such. My mandate, as stated in RA 9996, Section 3, clearly says to promote, coordinate, and facilitate the active and extensive participation of all sectors to effect the socio-economic development of Mindanao, which I have done diligently to the best of my ability. My presence in Malacanang are only for special meetings wherein I represent Minda. I was never even called to a single regular cabinet meeting, but I regularly attend the NEDA board meetings because I am an ex-officio member. It is because of my post as Minda Chair. The continuity and stability of the integrated development of Mindanao is vital. That is why, from the Executive Order 512 series of 1992 establishing MEDCO, or Mindanao Economic Development Council, it has evolved into Republic Act 9996, creating the Mindanao Development Authority. Mahirap kasi pag executive order lang, so they made it into a Republic Act para magkaroon ng stability and continuity. This was because the legal luminaries of both lower and upper houses of Congress understood the clamor of Mindanaoans to finally be acknowledged in our national affairs. In Section 2 of RA 9996, these valiant lawmakers specifically constructed the words, ito po yung policy. It is hereby declared a policy of the state to accelerate the socio-economic growth of Mindanao, increase its trade, tourism, and investments, encourage private enterprise, and advancing efforts towards peace and development. Towards this end, an effective institutional mechanism shall be established to address the need for coordinated and integrated approach in the formulation and implementation of various Mindanao-wide or Mindanao-wide interregional development plans, programs, and projects. I know that the law is on my side because RA 9996 is very clear on the agency's mandate and the chairperson's term. And kung tatanggalin man, meron din siyang cause. Pinagdarasal ko po na sana ang kaso ay mapunta sa mga buting kamay na may malalim na pangunawa sa batas at may puso at malasakit para sa mga lingkod bayan na tulad ko na walang ibang hinangad kundi magtrabaho ng tapat para sa bayan. Sana may pakita ng sitwasyon na ito ang totoong diwa ng bagong Pilipinas na ating hinahangad, kung saan ang good governance at public welfare ay napapatunayan na tunay na nangingibabaw sa lahat. Sana naman ay huwag ipawalang bahala ang mga umiiral na batas tulad ng Republic Act 9996. The law should always prevail. Syukran, dagang salamat, terima kasih, maraming salamat po. Mabuhay ang Mindanao, mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas na hinahangad nating lahat. Kami po ay humihingi ng kuwaranto, nag-file na po. Pero hindi ko po papag-usapan yung detalye. I will let my team of lawyers do their work. Wala po, hindi po siya nakipag-usap sa akin ng face-to-face. But I remember, it was a Friday, I think last week. Tumawag siya sa phone. Anong date ba yung Friday? Tumawag siya akin sa phone, but I was on board a plane from Manila going to Davao. Sabi niya, Madam, asa ka karon? Sabi ko, I'm on board the plane. Bound Manila ako, going to Davao. Tapos ang sabi niya, sige Madam, istorya lang ta pag-abot nimo sa Davao. So that was a Friday. So mali po yung nakalagay sa isang social media na news agency na pumunta daw ang transition team sa Minda office that same day, Friday, tapos hindi ko daw hinarap. Hindi po yung totoo, wala po yung katotohanan because I was in Manila. At tinanong ko rin yung mga security guard at mga tao dito sa Minda kung meron ba talagang pumunta na transition team. Wala naman daw. So,
mga mahalagang isyu ng bayan ay nangangailangan ng boses ng sambayanan. Ito ang programa na nagbibigay boses sa taong bayan. Ito ang boses ng katotohanan.